your weekend with some super, super awesome experiments. We have 2 different experiments today. The first one is pretty simple, but it's really fun and you can play with it play with the experiment for quite a while afterwards. So this one's all about static electricity. So let's go ahead and go over what we're going to need for this experiment. Not too many things. You probably have most of them around the house. We need a marker, some scissors, a balloon, and some tissue paper. I have 2 different colors here just because we're going to do 2 different designs, but you can just do one color if you want. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our tissue paper and we're going to draw out, I'm going to do a ghost on the white tissue paper. So we'll go ahead and draw a real quick little ghost right here. All right, and I'm going to put a little face on my ghost. There he is. All right, so here is my very quick ghosty. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut that ghost out. You can make this whatever shape or whatever you want. I just thought because Halloween's coming up, it might be fun to do some Halloween type shapes. All right, and you can do this, once we get started here, you can actually do this 2 different ways. So for the ghost, I'm gonna do it one way, and for the bat, we're gonna try it another way. But they both work and they're both really fun. So now that we've got, oops, just about got our ghost cut out. There it is, woo! We'll set that there and we'll go ahead and use our green tissue paper to make a bat. Here is my bat. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one out also. And there we go, a nice little bat. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move these scraps out of the way. We won't need those. Okay, we're done with our marker and we're done with our scissors, but I'll leave those right there. Next step is gonna be to blow up your balloon. So let's go ahead and give that a go. All right, once you've got it blown up, you're gonna wanna tie it in a knot. Might need some help with this part. Boop. Okay, so now's the fun part. So you're gonna rub this balloon on, if you have a sweater on, you can rub it on a sweater, or the easiest way to do it is actually just to rub it on your hair or on whoever's sitting next to you on their hair. So here we go. And you're just gonna rub it on there and you're gonna look really silly afterwards. Just like I do. Okay, so next up, let's see if once we do that, we can get one of these to connect with the balloon via static electricity. So you notice when I rub like this, I don't know if you can see that, but my hair is attached to the balloon. That's what we want to happen with the tissue paper bat that we made. See that? Look at that. So if you use a piece of tape, which I actually didn't grab to bring out, you can tape the bottom of your bat, and when you come close, it will, you might have to static electrify it again. All right, oop. When you do it, it will actually bring up part of the bat, just its wings maybe, or its body, but it won't fly all the way off of the table, which is kind of cool. But with the ghost, I want to see if we can get the ghost to actually come all the way up. So let's see. I'm going to rub this on my head a lot. And then I'm going to have to brush my hair later, because I think I probably look really silly. Okay, is that enough, you think? Let's test it out. Whew. Oh. Ah. got our ghosty to fly. Come on. Oh, we almost got him all the way up. He did it, but he turned over. I want to see if we can get him to dance. We'll try one more time. Really good time. One last time, and you can see how this can be so much fun because you can just keep doing it and see what happens. So, woo! There he is. We got him all the way up, which is pretty great. That happened really fast. You want to try to do it slower? Ah, look at him. And you can try to make him dance around. How cool is that? So that is our first science experiment. Like I said, pretty easy, loads of fun. Plus you can play with the balloon afterwards, which is great. But next up, we are actually going to make a witch's brew. So go ahead and set that aside. We won't need our scissors anymore, so I'll set those down. Pull out our, well, the rest of our supplies that we're gonna need for our witch's brew. All right, so let's spread all of this out. So we're gonna need a spoon. You're gonna need some food coloring. You're gonna need some dish soap. You can use a regular cup or a measuring cup. I have a measuring cup. Use some measuring spoons. I'm using this small bowl here as my cauldron. You can use an actual cauldron if you have one. They're pretty fun, or you can use just whatever you have in hand. And you also need a larger dish, either a bowl or something that has a lip like this, because this is gonna help contain the mess. So you definitely want this, it's very important to have a bowl or container with a lip. All right, so we've got all that, but we also are gonna need some vinegar. This is very large, so I'm actually gonna leave it down there, but we're gonna need vinegar and some baking soda. Okay, same thing, kind of big, so I'm gonna leave it down out of sight for now. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now that we're ready to get started, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our small bowl or our cauldron and set it right here in the center of our larger container with the lip. Remember, this is very important because it keeps the mess from getting everywhere. So definitely have that. And we've got our cauldron right there in the middle. Next up, we're gonna take the baking soda and we're gonna use our measuring spoon to measure out, let's see, we're gonna measure out 1 tablespoon. So it's right here, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and put it into our cauldron. All right, ready? Very nice. Okay, we've got that in there. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and add a couple of drops of food coloring to our baking soda. I'm gonna use green today, but you can use any color you want. You can mix colors. So let's do, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 drops. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of green food coloring. And we're gonna go ahead and mix that up with our spoon. Won't mix very well yet, but we're gonna try to get it a little bit more mixed in there, just because it'll be more fun later when we do it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Very nice. Okay, next up, we're gonna go ahead and take our vinegar. We're gonna take our vinegar and we're gonna measure out into our cup or measuring cup. We're gonna measure out, you know, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons, which I have a measuring cup, which is about 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna measure the vinegar just right to this line here at the bottom. All right, so that's gonna go in there. You can also use your measuring spoons to do this if you'd rather do that, if you're not using a measuring cup. Okay, we'll pour that on in there. Perfect. Okay, and then we have to add another ingredient to our vinegar, which is going to be a couple of drops of dish soap. So let's go ahead and add, whoop. That seems like plenty. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to just stir that up a little bit, just like that. Very nice. Okay, so we only have one more step for this experiment, and that is going to be to combine our liquid in our measuring cup and our ingredients we already have in our cauldron. To make this a little more fun, I like to say a magic word or a spell when I combine them, just to get a little more in the Halloween spirit. So you can do that too, but you don't have to. For this one, I'm gonna say double, double, boiling trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble, and then combined it. How cool is that? This is why we needed the extra bowl, by the way. But doesn't that just look like a witch has made some potion, some concoction, bubbles over? Oh, it's so much fun to watch. You can do it with any color. You can try playing around with different amounts of baking soda and vinegar, because if you change the amounts, it's gonna have different, oh, look at that big bubble. It's gonna have different reactions there, which is pretty cool. So you can see why that would be lots of fun. And it'll keep reacting like that. So let's go ahead and talk about the what's happening for a second. So baking soda, right here, is a base. And we have, the main other ingredient we have is vinegar, which is an acid. So when those two things, when a base and an acid come together, they have a chemical reaction. And when that chemical reaction happens, in this case, it releases carbon dioxide, which is why we have all those bubbles that just appeared, which is pretty cool. By adding a little bit of the dish soap, you can increase the bubbles even more. And by adding the food coloring, we get this really, really fun green color we have here, which just makes it kind of cool to look at. Now it's just a big bowl of mushy, gushy goodness that you can rinse out afterwards. And you can just do that again and again, like I said, and try different amounts and see if you get more bubbles, less bubbles, and how that works out. But it's really, really fun, especially if you add in some magic words. Hopefully you had a great time doing these Halloween-themed science experiments with me, and hopefully we'll see you around next time for another afternoon Friday fun.